Hello friends, and welcome to the horror section. This video is going to be some pickups that I've got since my last video. Starting off with this one, it's Aaron Eckhart and I, Frankenstein. Like I said, I really enjoyed this one. It's a pretty decent movie. But what I mostly got it for was the digital copy that comes with it. So I can actually throw this on my Voodoo or whatever and just watch it whenever I want to, instead of actually having to look for the disc and all that. And I've actually got this on a Blu-ray, the 3D Blu-ray and Blu-ray DVD combo. I think I've actually got it for collecting purposes, but I wanted to get this one just, anytime I wanted to watch it, I can just throw it on there and just watch it on my Voodoo instead of actually, or Movies Anywhere, whichever app you put them on. Instead of actually looking for the disc and getting it all scratched up and stuff, I can just kind of throw it on there and watch it. But don't worry, fans. I've still got an actual physical copy of this, the Blu-ray copy of it. And this one, I trade a lot of movies, so I'm going to take this DVD copy of it and trade it to one of the pawn shops I usually trade with, and get me something different for this. If I can think of it on the next video, I actually try to show what I got for this one. Maybe I'll try to get something good for this one, and y'all can see what I've traded for. So I've got the digital copy, and then I'm going to try to get something good for this one, so maybe it'll work out for all the best, But like I said, I enjoyed just getting those digital copies, and you can just watch a movie, flip it on, and check it out without having to actually look for the disc and stuff. But like I said, I collect the physical copies too, so don't worry about that. And this has been I Frankenstein. Almost said I Robot, but nope, I Frankenstein. Up next is one of those great slasher movies from the 80s, Hell Night with Linda Blair. And this is the collector's edition from Scream Factory, Pray for Day. And this was a pretty decent slasher movie. I liked it pretty good. Scream and You're Dead. Pretty much these people are applying for a fraternity, I guess you could say, in a college, and what they need to do, is they need to stay the night in this real creepy kind of mansion where a bunch of stuff's happened or whatever, and they don't think nothing of it. We'll just stay the night there and don't worry about it. But as the night comes along, the head of the fraternity, they're actually going to try to play some jokes on them. They set up some kind of wild, elaborate stuff in there to try to scare them and stuff, different noises, set up microphones and stuff, and where they can kind of scream on there and kind of get them upset and get them frightened. They think there's ghosts, or they think there's a killer after them and stuff. But lo and behold, there actually is a killer in there, and he starts taking care of business and killing them one by one in some pretty decent ways. Like I said, it's a pretty good little slasher movie, not too bad. Like I said, especially in this big old gigantic kind of mansion thing, it's pretty cool just looking at the different rooms in there and stuff, and it's a big old house or whatever, so it's pretty cool. And like I said, just the killers going through there, taking them and killing them one by one and attacking them and stuff. Pretty much every slasher movie's like that. I mean, I guess you'd have to have it like that to be a slasher movie, but that's how it goes. It's a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. And that's Hell Night with Linda Blair, and this is the collector's edition from Scream Factory. Pretty cool, and I really love the artwork, though. Let me take time to look at that. And they always have a great looking drawings on these and stuff. That looks really cool. And like I said, Scream Factory always does a good job on their artwork. So that's Hell Night from Scream Factory. Next up is a double feature. 2 movies, of course, with When a Stranger Calls and Happy Birthday to Me. And I mostly got it for Happy Birthday to Me because I really enjoy it. That's another one of those good slasher movies I like from the 80s. Like I said, it's a pretty decent one. It's kind of a Happy Birthday to Me is kind of a, let's say, a whodunit slasher, but then halfway through it kind of reveals whodunit, and then at the end of the movie they even throw you another kind of, they flip it on its head, so you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. So you actually, halfway through the movie, you think you got it, And then by the end of the movie, you're like, well, I was dead wrong, because that's a pretty good movie. They kind of do a good job on that, kind of, concealing it for enough time, and you get to see the killer, and then at the end, wow, But it's, like I said, I'd highly recommend, if you can find Happy Birthday to Me, I'd highly recommend. It's a pretty fun movie or whatever. And When a Stranger Calls isn't too bad either. It's the old babysitter movie where, are the kids all right? Are they upstairs? And she goes to check on them and all this stuff. I don't know. It's a pretty decent movie, but like I said, I like Happy Birthday to Me better. But I wasn't going to complain when I can get two of them for the same trade or whatever. I traded for this one. Like I said, I ain't going to complain when I can get both of them. And I believe this is actually out of print. I'm not for sure. Mill Creek actually put this out. They do a pretty decent job on these little double features and sometimes triple features. The Blu-ray usually looks pretty good. And then it comes with two movies, so you can't go wrong there. And a lot of the newer ones, they've actually got three movies on there. And they're usually a pretty good low price, so Mill Creek's not terribly bad. They're kind of a smaller company that puts out these kind of a budget Blu-rays, but they're not bad at all, I don't think. Like I said, so that's the double feature of Happy Birthday to Me and When a Stranger Calls. Pretty cool. Like I said, I'd highly recommend this one. And this one's not bad either. Now, something crazy that I'll recommend it, but only if you're a real fan of just 80s kind of. I believe this one's made in the 80s. I think 1980. But it's just a oddball kind of movie. It's just a crazy one. Yep, 1980, I believe. Yep. And I don't really know. I guess the best way is just to read it, because I don't really know if I can. Two couples plan a trip into the forest, but they didn't count on a killer on the loose with a taste for human flesh. Yikes. Haunted by the ghost of his children, the killer is eventually double-crossed as the ghosts of the children come to the aid of the campers. There you go. Just a odd movie. It's like I said, I got it because I used to actually have a VHS tape, kind of like a big box tape, and I always thought the cover was pretty cool. The movie's just kind of nutty. It's not like the greatest movie ever, but I thought it's just a very oddball movie. So I had to grab it on Blu-ray just because I had that cool looking VHS. I think I still have it laying around somewhere. And this one's from Code Red. And like I said, anytime you can grab a Code Red, just go ahead and get it. Like I said, it's a pretty decent movie, but like I said, it's just kind of quirky and kind of cornball and stuff. I don't know, you'd have to watch it just to see. Like I said, if you're really like oddball movies and you can find this, just pick the Force up and give it a twirl, because I don't know, it's just nutty, sort of. It's like, where did this person come up with this movie at? So that's The Forest on Code Red. And next up is Dario Argento's Opera. And this is a sort of a whodunit from Dario Argento. The main singer in the opera, she kind of gets injured or whatever. And so they have to let the understudy take her role or whatever. And the understudy has a fan. And what I say by a fan is one that's willing to take people out to have her be the main role or whatever. Kind of pretty much just a kind of a slasher whodunit with just a fun kind of opera feel. It's got some crazy, anytime you watch a Dario Argento, the film's just going to be kind of oddball to watch, just kind of fun, just kind of, you don't know what's going to happen next. If you notice in a lot of his movies, he follows stuff, and what I mean by that, like if there's a staircase, you will actually go down. He'll just, if it's a spiral staircase, he'll actually work down the stairs. It's just the crazy camera stuff that he does and stuff just to put it in the movie. He might follow like a electrical cord for just keep following it until he gets to the next scene of somebody getting killed. It's just just one of his odd things that he does, which I really enjoy. You can tell it's one of his movies whenever you see that. And I see other people do that too, but he does it a lot in his. But like I said, this is a pretty decent kind of whodunit. It keeps you kind of guessing till the end. And there's some great scenes of where the killer makes our lead here, the understudy girl, makes her kind of watch him kill a couple of her friends or people that are, working in the opera. He actually takes pins and kind of tapes them under her eyes, so if she lowers her top eyelids, the pins will actually stab through her eyelids and damage her eyelids and probably her eyes and stuff. So she has to keep her eyes open, and he pretty much kills her friend right in front of her. So it's pretty wild movie, kind of a couple of cool scenes in it. So like I said, I'd highly recommend this one, Dario Argento's Opera. And this is just a single disc from Scorpion Release. And I think they're going to make like a double disc collector's edition like this too. But I just got the single disc. And I believe this one's made in 1989 is when this one was released. It's hard to actually see. It's right there. I know I won't be able to zoom in. I ain't going to try. But that red and the black just does not... messes my eyes up. I couldn't hardly read it. Like I said, that's Dario Argento's Opera. A really cool kind of whodunit from Dario Argento and Scorpion Releasing. And last but definitely not least is Madman. Just a quirky kind of odd camp killer movie. Just a good slasher movie set, of course, in kind of like a camp where these kids are kind of keeping up with the smaller kids. The teens are kind of watching over the smaller kids in the camp. And the story sort of goes that, Madman Moss. But Madman, he kind of killed his family, hacked him up or whatever. And they hung him for it. Well, when they come back the next day, he was gone. He's not hanging from the tree. And the legend is, if you pretty much say his name above a whisper, he'll come and... In those woods, if you say his name above a whisper, he'll come and stalk you and kill you. So it's kind of a fun, kind of cool slasher or whatever. I really enjoy it. This is one of my favorite slashers right here, Madman. And like I told you before, where I trade away stuff, I actually went to a good buddy of mine. He owned a store where he sold videos and stuff, and he always lets me trade. And I was watching YouTube in there one day, and he was letting me kind of watch the store like he sometimes did when he'd go to lunch, and I was watching YouTube, and I found this actually on YouTube, and started watching it. Well, I really enjoyed it. I thought, man, that's cool. And I was looking for a copy of it, and it was kind of hard to find because it was one of those Anchor Bay discs or whatever. And come in there maybe like a week or two later, and he actually had a copy of it in there, so I traded it away from him. So see, I could have traded iRobot. I keep saying that. Frankenstein. There's too many I movies. There's Frankenstein, Madman, which is another kind of weird slasher movie, and Frankenstein. So I could have traded Frankenstein for this right here on DVD. That's what like I said, that's what I usually do. Just trade away stuff. Try to get something that's better than what I had before. But like I said, I'd highly recommend this one right here. Madman. It's just, like I said, a fun slasher movie, and it has that great scene, which is probably my favorite scene from any slasher movie. I don't want to give it too much away. You can actually watch this on YouTube, like I said, so I don't want to give too much away. You need to actually go if you got time, go watch this movie. And there's a great scene involving, I'd say, a decapitation and then a truck hood. So you can imagine about that. It's just a quirky kind of, just a funny, just kind of like one of my favorite scenes of all time. Like, wow, they actually put that in this movie. But like I said, that's one of my favorite scenes from all time in a slasher movie. It just, as soon as I seen it, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But like I said, Madman is just one of my favorites or whatever. I really like it. Really enjoyed it. It's just a cool movie or whatever. So like it says up here, don't say his name or he'll come after you. I will give one reveal to this movie that I thought was funny. And I believe I'm right. Now, if you watch this or and I'm wrong, please leave me a message down there in the comments. But the kid that actually, this is the only thing I'm going to say about it, but the kid that actually yelled his name out above a whisper, you know, he kind of hollers it out, "Hey, madman, come get me." I think he actually survives the whole movie. The madman kills all these other people, but the guy that actually said his name, I believe he actually gets, I believe he gets away, unless they get him at the very end. But I believe he actually gets away, which is kind of funny. You know, madman's killing everybody else for this one guy yelling out his name. So, but like I said, that's the old Madman Moss. And I thought this is, like I said, one of my favorites right here. So I'd highly recommend this one. Check it out down here on YouTube. And if you like it, please buy it on the Arrow Video. And that'll be my video for today. And I hope you really enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Please, like I said, subscribe. And please tell people about my channel here on YouTube. I really enjoy having people, you know, talk to me and stuff. Please put comments down there and I'll try to get back to you. And like I said, if you subscribe to me, please, and if you have a channel too, please leave a link below in the comments so I can subscribe to your channel, because I really enjoy watching YouTube channels. They're just kind of fun. I love watching these collection videos and just showing off stuff, you know, the different movies that people have picked up. So, like I said, I'm out of here. And like I said, if you can't find me, you know where I am. Check out the horror section. See ya.